Hey guys, welcome back. Takashi here again. I've decided to be productive today, and guess what? This is the third episode all on the same day. So I got the house to myself, so I figured it'd be a great time to go ahead and make as many of these as possible during the time. I don't know if we'll complete this game. This game seems actually a little bit longer than the previous one. Well, not maybe a little bit, maybe a lot, since we're only on chapter 3, and I don't know how many chapters there are, but we've already finished 2 videos, and we're on the third. So anyhow, let's go ahead and see what we can find out here. Again, where we left off last time, we were telling about our backstory, figuring out about her backstory, Grace's backstory, not Anna's. When I say her, because she's the one we've been talking to recently. We haven't actually seen much of Anna in the last episode, so we'll just have to continue going on and see what happens. I could write about all the talks we had, about the first night we spent together, about looking for an apartment and then finding it, about moving in, about pretty much anything that only involved the two of us. But I think it's time to move on. This isn't a feel-good journal, after all. It was a Thursday, coming up to a year since Grace and I started dating. I was at the cash register, and Grace wasn't in the store. An old lady was counting her change. Okay, so this is the same scene we've seen before when Anna walked in. The trauma returns. Anna didn't buy anything. She went for the register towards me, empty-handed. But what I don't understand though is if Anna liked him, why didn't she go to him before? Why did she wait till he was with Grace? I kind of hope that gets explained. The sight of her approaching made my heart start beating like mad. My head hurt. I knew the moment I saw her that she meant trouble. Jack? Oh my god, is that you, Jack? She had the nerve to pretend she stumbled upon me by accident, like she hadn't tracked me down. Oh, so she had to track me down? Perhaps that's why she didn't know? But I didn't have it together. I couldn't see through her acting. I was confused, panicking, not sure why. Excuse me, miss? Is it you? Please, don't cut in line, miss. It's not fair to the other customers. The old lady was still tackling her mass of coins. She didn't seem to notice much around her. Don't play silly with me, Jack. It's you, isn't it? Yes, my name is Jack, but you've got me confused with someone else. And there's a lot of Jacks out there. Oh, come on. You're you, all right. I put my hand on the counter to steady myself. She reached out, as if to place her hands on mine. I jerked my hand back like she was going to bite me. It's me! It's Anna! Don't you remember your old friend? No, we've never met. I guess it's been a while. 15 years? Not me. Must be someone else. Anna stared right at me, through me. I thought I'd either boil or freeze. Sure, it's you. Let's go somewhere and talk about old times. I know a great restaurant just 2 streets over. Look, lady, even if I was this friend of yours, I have a job to do. So let me get on with it. You're bothering the customers. The customers weren't bothered one bit. If they hated anyone, it was probably me. After all, I was being so rude to this pretty charming girl who only wanted to talk to her friend. That's a good point, Jack. What are you doing in this place? It's a pile of trash. Someone like you doesn't belong here. I was through trying to reason with her. I crossed my arms and said nothing. Hope, sorry, something got caught in my throat. She wouldn't notice that my heart was pounding way too fast. Anna gave me a good, hard look. So, that's how it is. I'll see you later, Jack. And she went away. I let out a long breath. I hadn't noticed I was holding. It felt awful. So wait, she hadn't seen him for 15 years? If she's a yandere, normally they're like really good at tracking people, but it took her 15 years, or has she just been watching him like quietly for those 15 years? That'd be really weird if it was true, but either way. So it happened in high school, and it's been 15 years, so he must be in his 30s then. Or his early 30s. Even worse, I felt Anna had been right. There had definitely been something familiar about her, but I didn't want to find out more. Next time she comes in, I'll treat her the same way. I told myself. Guessing correctly, there'd be a next time. Guessing wrongly, that'd be at the store. I'll do it again and again until she gives up. I don't know what she wants, but I won't give an inch. I really wonder what happened to him in the past that he hates her so much. And the old lady cried out. She'd found a quarter. Seriously, this old lady, I feel like she's been more into the story than some of the... well, really, anyone else besides the three main characters. And perhaps the doctor. It's weird, isn't it? How I just write today's date like that, and then go right to telling something about what happened months ago. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, how he's just writing the date of when he's writing it. I should write down when that stuff happened. But it was so long ago, I don't think I can remember the exact dates. Who cares? This is only for me anyway. It can be jumbled. It can be a jumbled mess. Okay, so this might even be a couple years after those events. Again, I'm kind of confused on the timeline right now. Sometimes I feel like I should write more about what's happening now. But nothing is happening. So fuck it. When I told Grace about the girl who called herself Anna, and who called me Jack, even though we didn't wear name tags, she took it like it was good news. Oh, Grace, you poor innocent child. That's amazing, Jack. She must have recognized you from your childhood. She said 15 years ago, didn't she? That's right. From the time you can't remember. I don't know. She might be some sort of scam artist. I'd come up with the idea of Anna being a scam artist. It seemed a good enough excuse not to go near her again. Yeah, right. Come on, Jack. At least give her the benefit of the doubt. I don't need her, Grace. I've got you. Jack, I'm not telling you to sleep with her. Don't be so rude to her next time, okay? I wasn't being rude. Yes, you were. Oh, okay, so what if I was? It's not fair to her. She seems like a nice girl. Oh, Grace, you poor misguided child. But, I mean, normally speaking, she's right. But, yeah, not this time. And don't you think it'd be good for you two? To be friends with her? To be friends with her? No, not really. She could tell you about your past. Then maybe things would start making sense. You could put whatever happened behind you. But nothing happened. Something must have happened, Jack. People don't... Grace fell silent. Instead of continuing, she started running her fork through her peas on her plate. We were having dinner. People don't what? Well, people don't do that at night. Unless something happened to them. I keep telling you, it must be some kind of insomnia. Nothing more. Sleeping pills don't work on it. Something will, eventually. But why not try this? The memories you have, it's like they went out. I think you should get out too. Then you won't be scared of whatever happened anymore. And how does that work exactly? You'll be able to face it properly. It's helped me a lot, thinking about it. What happened to me. Seeing it's not so bad as I thought it was. I stubbornly refused to answer, and went on eating like there hasn't been a conversation at all. Grace had referred to was something I'd only recently found out. Apparently, I shouted and kicked at night a lot. Sometimes, all out screamed. Maybe I still do all that. Who knows? Maybe the staff and patients here are too polite to point it out. No, I don't scream at night anymore. I'm fairly sure I don't. Though, that's not to say I can sleep all that well. Funny how at one point, something like that was the biggest problem in my life. It was so long ago. Or at least, it feels like so long ago. So much has happened since then. Anyway, the morning after, I'd wake up, sweaty and tired. But it wasn't until Grace told me about the screaming that I found out why. Grace said it happened once a week. It really freaked her out. The first few times it happened, but then she got used to it. Or as used to it as you can get. It makes me feel like an asshole, realizing how nonchalant I was about it. Screaming every few nights in my sleep I felt a small price to pay. So I wouldn't have to bother with the past. But it didn't matter. In the end, if I decided to face the past or not. Either way, it was coming. The second time Anna and I met as adults, we were neighbors. I was coming back home from a morning shift at the store. I went into our building, up to the second floor, down the hall to mine and Grace's door, and I froze. There was someone standing in front of the door, in front of our door. That someone was her. Anna. Jack? Oh goodness. What are you doing here? Don't tell me you. She pointed at the door as if to ask if I lived there. Yes, that's my apartment. As you damn well know. The hallway air felt warm and stale, soup-like. Ah yes, soupy rooms. You gotta hate them. What are you doing here? I was going to say hello to my new neighbor. So, hello? Wait, what, huh? And here. She pushed something into my hands. It was a plate wrapped in plastic wrap. There was something brown on the plate. Brownies! I'm sure you'll like them, Jack. But, oh wait. But we're not neighbors. I spat the words out. Yes, we are. I'm right over there. Anna showed me the door to the right of mine. Ah. That place had been empty for weeks. I'm pretty sure the guy who lived there before that was a heroin addict. He didn't seem so bad now. What an amazing coincidence, though. To think we'd end up living so close by again. It's not a coincidence, is it? Pardon? Come on, really? What are you trying to do? It's obvious you planned this. There's no way something like this could happen by accident. Anna laughed. It was a sound like a fork scraping a plate. Well, you can believe it's a coincidence, or you can believe it's not. Either way, we'll be seeing each other pretty often. Enjoy the brownies. Thanks. I'm not a big fan of sweet stuff, but I'm sure Grace will love them. Grace? Who's Grace? My girlfriend. I pointed at the door with my thumb. We lived together. My idea was that, in case she was acting like this because she was interested in me, I'd gently tell her I was taken. Whoa, did you guys see those eyes? Well, damn. Oh, son. By the way, if you're wondering why I changed the voice again, it's because I think the feel... I try to do the voice with the feel. Let me know if I'm doing it right or not, what you guys think. Again, I'm just trying to fit it with the atmosphere. Grace? Yes. She must be a nice girl. The best I've ever known. She's lucky to have you. It's the other way around. Well, it's been nice chatting. I'll say hi to Grace for you. I should go say hello myself. No need. And she's not here by now. But, bye. I pretended to unlock the door. It was already unlocked because Grace was home. I slipped in and shut the door in Anna's face. In the apartment, I found I could breathe freely again. Son of a bitch. Talk to this girl? Be friends with her? Not a chance. She creeped the hell out of me. Writing all this down, I can see why Grace thought I was overreacting. The plain facts of it doesn't seem that bad at all. A friend I hadn't seen in years noticed me at my workplace. Talked with me a bit, and then happened to move right next door. But I knew right from the start there was something off about her. That's not something to ignore. Paranoid? Yeah. But in this case, I was right to be paranoid. It's because I let my guard down that all this shit happened. Still, no word from the doctor about when I'll be able to get out of here. In fact, I haven't seen him in days. I hope he's just busy. What if something happened to him? It's the paranoia talking again. No, that's not paranoia. That's plain stupid. And I can't make a doctor disappear and get away with it. Oh, I wouldn't be so sure. But I've got to say, if this doctor did disappear, it wouldn't be much of a loss to this hospital, I think. I'll have to ask him to give me some neck exercises I can do. My neck hurts from craning my head to the side all this time to look at the sky. Well, at least the weather's wet now. The weather's bad now. I'm not looking there as much. It's weird how little neck pain is causing me trouble, with how broken and battered the rest of me is. By the way, if you're wondering why my speech is broken like that, it's not because I can't read it properly. Well, I can't read it properly because you can see I keep messing up, but that's for effect. Again, I'm just trying to read it with emotion and stuff like that, so we'll see how that goes. Again, I want your guys' reaction, your comments, whether you like that or not, let me know. No, I probably shouldn't mention my neck to him. They might up my dosage, and what'll I do then, when my brain turned to mush? Maybe then I'd be happy. In any case, I have things to do. I need to clear my mind to do them. I hope that what I'm writing makes sense. I hope I haven't gone down the rabbit's hole already, and all I'm doing is scrawling lines after line of meaningless chicken scratch. But that'd be pretty funny, I guess. Pretty funny way. Yeah, I'm trying to make it sound like it, so it's really just like their mind is broken. They've lost everything they care about. They feel like they have no control over life, things like that, So, we'll see. Hannah's brownies were tasty. I didn't have any, but Grace said so. I wanted to throw the brownies into the trash, but Grace caught wind of them too quickly. She's like a bloodhound when it comes to sweet stuff, chocolate especially. And then, of course, I had to explain where I'd got them. Huh? Weird. I know, right? There's no way it's a coincidence. Yeah, it must be a sign. A sign of what? That she's stalking me? It's weird that she was stalking me, since she knew where I lived, but that she didn't know about Grace. I mean, she couldn't have known with how surprised she was. I don't think she was acting. Was it just a coincidence then? No, absolutely not. That I refuse to accept. I think I'll go say hi. I think you shouldn't. I could make something for her too. Do we have butter left? I went to bake her cookies. Yeah, and then you'll eat most of them on your own. Hey! I don't see the point of going to visit her though. We'll see her more than enough of her anyway. We live so close by. We're neighbors. I want us to get started on the right foot. And maybe she and I could be friends. I think that'd be nice. I wrapped my arms around hers. Of course, you deserve that. But please, find a friend that's not her. Why? Once again, I couldn't properly explain why. I couldn't put it down as anything more than a hunch. A feeling I get whenever I was near her. Well, yeah. I guess he was right. Maybe it's like past memories that haven't resurfaced, but the instincts from the time are there. That's what I'm guessing. I've at least got to see her for myself, to see if she's really such a horrible person. Trust me, you're better off without it. Yeah. If only she would have listened. If only we would have gone far away where she couldn't have found us. Okay, she didn't say that. The next day, in the afternoon, I was lying down on our sofa. I was nursing a headache that had been with me since morning. Grace told me she'd be right back. She went out of the apartment with something in her hands, and then the smell of freshly baked cookies wafted out of the kitchen. It still took me about 2 minutes to piece the puzzle together. "Oh, shit," I whispered. I was immediately up. Not good, not good. Panic struck me harder than I would expect. It was like with Grace, seeing Anna all by herself. Some vulnerable part of me was exposed. I wanted to bring Grace back and lock the door and keep her safe. And never ever let her go out of my sight. But I also don't want to go in there. I just stood there, head in my hands, wondering what the hell to do. All at once, I was telling myself to go there. You coward. But also to stay here, you idiot. And somewhere far away, a tiny little voice, very tiny, very little, was telling me I was overreacting. Then came the sound of glass breaking. It came from where else? Anna's apartment. I went to the... No. Listen, Jack. Go in there and save her. Don't just listen. Oh my goodness. Jack. I'm sorry, guys. So this is another dynamic of Yandere's. I haven't gone too much into it yet so far, but this is a different one where it's the character already has a girlfriend. Of course, there seems to be a part beforehand where he didn't have a girlfriend yet, before this all took place. But again, it definitely adds another dynamic to it, because in the other ones you can kind of still like the Yandere. Even in these ones, I guess you could still like the Yandere. But I think in this one, like, Grace is so likable that it's hard to like her if she harms Grace. So it's definitely a new dynamic, and I just want Jack to take action. I don't want him to just sit there listening. Now there was no sound at all, nothing to explain the crash. I finally overcame my cowardice, and dashed from our apartment to hers. Thank goodness, Jack. Nothing may be going on yet, but we know something happens later, at least at some point. When I got there, I saw broken glass and blood, and Grace kneeling down, and Anna stood above her, and they were both smiling. They stopped when they noticed me. They're out of breath and confused. Jack? Hi, Jack. Did you decide to join us? No, What the hell is going on? This? Anna waved her hand at the floor, at all the bits of glass, white ceramic, actually. There were also scattered cookies and drops of blood. Yes, that. Just looking at the blood made me feel sick, like I was going to throw up, but I couldn't peel my eyes away from it. I've always been like that around blood. I've never had the stomach for it. Grace was picking up the broken pieces of ceramic. There was a little accident. An accident? Yes. What else? Grace, what happened? It's my fault, really. The cookies were hotter than I thought, so I dropped the whole plate. And it was Anna's plate, too. Be careful, Grace. You might cut yourself. She's cut herself already. Look. Huh? She only now seemed to realize the blood around her. But Grace checked her hands, turned them over a few times to see from every angle, but found no cuts here. It's not me. It's my blood. What? I just noticed, holding her left hand tightly with her right. There was blood still trickling from between her knuckles. So, one thing I can say about this is the way Jack treats her, if she wasn't actually a crazy person and she hadn't done something in the past, which I assume she did, would actually be horrible if we think about it. But it's justified because we know what she's like. So it's kind of this weird mix of feelings with that. But yeah, so this is I don't know how to feel about all this. Oh no! Grace's hand hovered around Anna's. She looked willing to help, but afraid she'd do something wrong. How did this even happen? I tried to pick up some of the pieces. They're pretty sharp, aren't they? Wait, she tried to pick it up with her knuckle? Didn't it say it was between the knuckles? How are you picking up the grass that you got cut on your knuckle? Like, I mean, like, on the hand, sure, the palm of the hand, but yeah, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Hang on, Al. I'm fine. I don't need you to do anything. The way Anna said that was forceful, almost harsh. Grace backed away. I can still help. She remembered I was there. Jack, go get some gauze. Jack, go get some gauze. We have gauze. Oh, useless. Frustrated, more frustrated than I'd ever seen her before, Grace ran out to get the gauze herself. She left me there in the belly of the beast. I tried being polite. Shame about the cookies. Right, he's not even really concerned about her blood. A real shame. I didn't get to eat a single one. Well, actually, she picked one up with her free fingers in her left hand. Some of her blood got on the cookie. Before I could say anything, she ate it in one bite. Jesus. It's not bad at all. They're still warm. Do you want one? I'll pass. God, you make me sick. That's not a very nice thing to say, Jack. If anyone else said it. But I'll forgive you. She licked her lips. I should have left, but I was like a frog being stared down on by a snake. I wonder, what's taking Grace so long? She must be flustered. Poor girl. So much worry about a teeny little cut. It's not serious? It's not. How do you know? I've seen a lot of cuts. I can imagine. Anna laughed. I'm a nurse. That I couldn't imagine. It's still hard to believe, though I see proof of it every day. There's a lot of blood. You don't believe me? Look. She showed me her hand. The cut ran from the base of her thumb towards the middle of her hand. The wound was thin, but long and ragged. The skin around the wound was pale and moist, showing how fresh the cut was. I could have puked. Oh, does it look bad? Don't worry. It won't even scar. Stop that. You're really a... I don't know what I was going to say. It wasn't nice in any case. What stopped me was Grace coming back. Sorry. There wasn't any gauze. Here. She brought a roll of pink toilet paper. I hope it's good enough. She brought toilet paper to cover a wound. That would just stick to the injury. That would hurt when you take it off. Oh my god. Thank you, Grace, but I don't need it. You don't? No, see? The blood stopped. Anna flashed me a smile. The corner of her mouth was still red. August 13th. So it was on the palm of her hand. Why did it say between the knuckles? That's weird. Maybe the blood was pouring between the knuckles. Okay. Good day today. Didn't see Anna once. But enough of that. After what happened, where I left off yesterday, I was sure Grace and I were on the same page, but no. In the end, I was the one who cleaned up that bloody mess on the floor. I threw away the cookies before Anna could get her hands on any more. Why did she want to eat them anyways? It's not like they're made by Jack. I find that kind of strange. Back in our apartment, Grace let out a long sigh. What a mess, am I right? Yeah, and it was all my fault. I meant Anna. You did just meet her, right? Yes. And? Well, I can see why you've been avoiding her, if that's what you mean. Thank you. She's beautiful. Okay, so here's the thing. If you look at the way, like I said, if you look at the way Jack's acting and you don't know it, he's the one that seems like the only thing she's done crazy so far is do the eye flash thing, like where we saw her eyes go like super dilated, like real small, like she was like actually sure about Grace, and the kind of stalky-ish part about her movie next door, and the cookie thing. But the movie next door thing could have really been a coincidence. It's not, but it could have been. The cookie thing is freaky, and so yeah, and the eye dilating thing. But I don't think he even caught that based on what he said afterwards. So really, if you look at the way he's acting, he's been acting like a pretty terrible person. I thought she would be some shy little girl or a crazy cat lady or something. But she's like a model. What? No. Don't try to deny it, Jack. It's why you don't want to go near her, right? You don't want to be tempted. I shook my head. I really didn't see her that way. Now with a little more perspective, I can say it's true. What a waste of good looks. She's much more beautiful than me. Hey, don't say that. She's not. She is. Grace dropped her gaze to stare at her hands. And she wasn't mad that I ruined her plate. She wasn't scared of blood either. She's just so... I took her hands in mine. They were cold. Grace. Jack, you're beautiful and kind. More beautiful and kind than any other girl in the world. I'm lucky as hell I have you. My cheeks burned. I must have looked like a tomato. I wasn't used to saying stuff like that. I mean it. So don't say stuff like that. Okay? Oh. Grace blinked, like she'd just woken up. Oh. I've been saying a lot of dumb stuff, I guess. I'm sorry. I'm a real hassle, huh? No, don't say that. And don't say you're sorry either. You've done nothing to feel sorry for. She apologized way too often. August 15th. I didn't write anything yesterday. The pain in my leg made it so I couldn't focus. It's been hurting like a bitch these past few days. I gave in and asked the doctor about it. So wait, you seen the doctor again? He's fine, by the way. He didn't disappear or anything. Must have taken a few days off. I asked him about the pain. I asked if he could do anything about it. Apparently the pain was a good sign. I think that's what he said, so I guess my leg is healing alright. But it still hurts. When the doctor went away, I complained out loud that it hurts. One of the other patients must have thought that I was talking to him. The patients here now are not the same guys I mentioned before. Maybe one is, but that's all. The others went away. To another part of the hospital, or home, or maybe the morgue. I don't know. I wasn't keeping track. So I said something about how my leg hurt. And the guy in the bed next to mine, a kid actually, can't be more than 18 or 19, starts talking to me. I think he was saying how he's in a lot of pain, too. Because remember, our character must at least be in his 30s, so that's why he's saying a kid of 18 or 19 is a kid. I couldn't understand most of it, though. His jaw's been wired shut. Anything he tries to say turns to moans and starts a lot of drool. Then a nurse came in, and not Anna, and told me he shouldn't speak if he wants his mouth to get better. So he shut up. Not much else has happened, but my leg really is bothering me. It's a deep pain. It doesn't feel like it's healing. It feels wrong in a way that makes my teeth hurt too.
I'll stop with the leg now. I have to get my mind off it. It hurts so much. I'll check where I left off the day before yesterday and go from there. Okay, wait at the end of the chapter yet because it's been over 35 minutes. Alright, if it's not the end of the chapter of this scene, I'm going to end it after this. Okay, guys? You're not coming with us? Again? No, I don't feel like it. But Anna is so great to hang out with. Yesterday, we went window shopping. Then we went to a cafe. And then we had ice cream in the park. Sounds fun. It was. Anna is a really interesting person. You should give her a chance. I want us all to be friends. So, please come along. No, I'll pass. Sorry. A moment later, Anna came in without knocking. She never knocked anymore. Ready, Grace? Yes, in a minute. Grace heaved a sigh. Are you sure you don't want to go along? Yes, I'm sure. Go have fun without me. Okay, then some other time. We kissed. Wait, let me go back a bit. So she's did scratch her. Is that the only? Okay, so the only thing was her eyes narrowed. So we kissed, and then she goes back to normal, like right afterwards. But her eyes did narrow there. So I thought they would go like full Yandere mode, but so they just narrowed, which is still, you know, she's agitated, but she's not showing it as much as she did that one scene where we told her we had a girlfriend. We will. Bye. Grace and Anna became friends. Good friends, very soon after they first met. I was against it, but I found it hard to complain seeing Grace so happy. They spent quite a lot of time together. Whenever I said anything about this, Grace would tease me. She'd say I was jealous, but she would also invite me to come along with. I always declined. I eventually got used to it, and things were quiet for a while. Once at the store, I was applying discounts during work hours. It should have been done before we opened, but someone had been slacking off. I won't point fingers. It was Don, the old guy. So I was the one stuck wondering what kind of dog food the 20% off should go on, or something like that. The lists they gave us were always terrible, so full of corrections. You could barely read them. As I was about to choose at random where to apply the discount sticker, someone put a hand on my shoulder. Oh, Anna. There was a tightness in my chest, but it passed within seconds. As I said, I'd gotten used to it. She didn't scare me anymore. Hi. How are you, Jack? I'm alright, thanks. Hey, random question. Do you like big dogs or small dogs? Big dogs, I guess. I see. I bent down and placed a sticker reducing the price of the dog food that had one of those wiener dogs on the packaging. So he did the opposite of what she said, essentially. Okay. Grace is in the break room, by the way. I know. I was just there. But I wanted to see you. Yeah? Why? I haven't seen you in all this past week, you know? Didn't you notice? I guess. I was called into work a lot, and you must have been busy here, too. Yep, busy. We should meet up more often. After all, these years apart, we must have a lot of stories to tell, huh? Yeah, maybe. Jack, you mentioned dogs, right? Right. Was that because of Buddy? Who's Buddy? So, you really don't remember anything? Nope. I don't remember this Buddy, and I don't remember knowing you, either. Of course, now I do know about Buddy. I don't remember his breed, or how old he was, or anything other than his name, really, but I do remember him. A certain picture book told me. That's really too bad. But it'll all come back to you, I'm sure. Who knows? Buddy was a really sweet dog. You liked him a lot. I shrugged. And he loved you. But then again, that dog loved everyone. He was so trusting. Too trusting. I'm sure he was. Are you really fine with not knowing about so much about your life, Jack? Yeah, I am. I'm used to it by now. I think it would feel weird if I could remember it, actually. I suppose it's easier that way. There are some things best forgotten, after all, aren't there? Huh, yeah. Huh, yeah, of course there are. I wish some of those things would have had the decency to stay forgotten. I wonder when we're actually going to learn about those things. I feel like it's going to be towards the end. Or never, but I hope we do. Why mention it now, though? Oh, no reason. I was just a little curious. Uh-huh. I didn't believe her. I sensed that there was something in particular she wanted me to remember. I do know what that is now, but I still don't know why she wants me to remember what she did. Is it some kind of sick form of love? Or does she want to finish the job? Is it both? I don't know. I really don't. Her mind is as much of a mystery to me now as it ever was. Right. Interlude. Anna is wonderful. Okay. So, that's a perfectly good point to end it there, because it looks like that was the end of the chapter, and I'm really glad, because we're running near 41 minutes, which is quite long for these videos. So, anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really love when you guys come in, comment, like the video, all that kind of stuff. I really do love it, especially the comments, guys. I really appreciate that in the first one. And then we started the Yandere series. I'm hoping you guys are keeping that up. Again, this is recorded before I even upload the second episode of the Vacant Eyes one. So, again, I'm kind of out of touch with what's going on because of how I'm uploading it. I'll probably be uploading more frequently by the time I upload this video, not just once a week. Anyhow, guys, again, love y'all, and I hope y'all have a great rest of your day or night. Laters.